Well, hello there. It's me, a person who makes very low quality YouTube videos in his mom's basement. Yeah. My name is Mr. Guy. I might change my name from Mr. Guy to something less retarded. Or autistic, as you millennials like to call them. Yeah, today I'm gonna review a movie called Iron Man. He's an Iron Man. By the way, I would have downloaded this image, but the picture here of Roblox Iron Man, but it didn't let me for some reason. I literally tried everything that I could. It just did not let me download a picture of Iron Man as a Roblox character. And it pains my soul that I can't get a PNG of a Roblox Iron Man. It hurts me. I have some notes so I know what I'm talking about and not blindly talking about things. So yeah. 2008's Iron Man, the first movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You know, those movies with Black Panther and Doctor Strange and Spider-Man and Captain British. That's my favorite character, Captain British. And this was the first movie before even Captain British in 2008. Now, something sad about this movie is that it came out in the same year as everyone's favorite Batman movie, The Dark Knight. So this movie got massively overshadowed by The Dark Knight. What does undershadowed even mean? Does it, would it mean it's too popular? I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. So anyways, yeah, this came out in 2008 or something, and it's a good movie. Spoiler alert! Should I stop making unfunny jokes? Or should I, start actually talking about the movie that I'm actually reviewing? If you can even call this garbage a review. God, I'm self-deprecating today. Hey, gay. So anyways, we got characters in a movie because it's a movie. Did I mention this is a movie? It's also based off of a comic book made by Stan Lee. I don't know who, there's always the Spider-Man, movies, created by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko, because he was drawn by Steve Ditko. I don't know who also made Iron Man. I'm pretty sure Stan Lee made Iron Man. Executive producer was Stan Lee. And executive producers don't do anything unless they're related to something. Stan Lee's executive producer for all the Marvel movies, because he created a lot of the Marvel characters. I don't know. Anyways, this movie stars Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, the one and only. By the way, that reminds me, when I was watching this movie, randomly, my uncle came in my room, was watching Iron Man, are you? I'm like, yeah, and then he's like, Robert Downey Jr., and I'm like, yeah. Robert Downey Jr. was a drug addict, and I'm just like, okay, that's knowledge I needed to know. And he just I don't know if that's a fact or not. Don't take that as a fact. I don't even know. I don't know if that's true or not. Like, look that up for yourself. I'm not gonna say anything about it because it's like politics and junk. Back to the movie, I guess. There's also Pepper Potts. Pepper Potts. It's Iron Man's secretary, and she's like Yang to Iron Man's Yang. By the way, Iron Man is Tony Stark. Did I even talk about Tony Stark? Tony Stark is I guess I'll talk about his personality and the plot. This is a complete mess. And with Pepper Potts, she's I guess a straw man, but she's a woman. So straw woman. And there's Rhodey. They only say his name like one time, and I know this is gonna sound racist and stuff, but I don't care. He's the black guy, okay? He's the black guy. By the way, on the beginning screen, I'm not showing any footage because it said made by Paramount, in association with Viacom, and I'm not gonna mess with Big Daddy Viacom. Please don't terminate my channel. Daddy! Does it sound like I'm on meth? Because I'm not. Obviously, I'm not on meth. Are we gonna talk about the movie yet? Yeah. Rhodey, he's like a war guy, and he's like doing stuff. He doesn't do much in the movie, but he's there. And by the way, at the end of the movie, there's just like a really on-the-nose reference to War Machine, which Rhodey is War Machine, but not in this movie because reasons. Like he sees the gray Iron Man armor, the Mark II, because it was the second Iron Man armor. He's like, next time I'm gonna wear that Iron Man suit, I'm gonna kick some metal ass, and then I'm just like, great sequel setup. I didn't kind of on the nose. Then we have business guy. His name is in the movies like Obadiah Stane, but that's boring. His name is business guy because it's less boring. His name is a business guy, and he's a business guy, and he's kind of mean to Tony Stark or the Iron Man. He's like, yo, despite you owning the company, I'm gonna make all the decisions for you. Because he's a business guy. What else did you think he was gonna do if it wasn't business? By the way, this has a plot, if you didn't know. So basically, Tony Stark is a big old joik. He's a jork. He makes, like, war weapons. Tony Stark, he has Iron Man. And he's a jerk, man. And he's he's a jerk. And he doesn't work. I didn't want that to rhyme, but it did. My dude. That was more of alliteration than rhyming. But no one cares. No one's watching this anyways. No one. And he makes war weapons, and he's a jerk. And he gets laid. He gets laid, and he gets paid. And he gets the Gatorade. And, he's a meanie. And then he goes to, like, Iraq, where all the terrorists are at. This was made in 2008. It was made in 2008, and that's like when the Iraq War was still happening or something. I'm too lazy to look that up or anything, so just go with that. And then, he's like going in a minivan. He's minivan kid 1. He gets completely wrecked by the terrorists. He gets kidnapped. And the terrorists, rip out his heart or something. In the movie, they just do something, and it's about to kill him. And I don't understand. He gets kidnapped. Iron Man gets kidnapped by terrorists. And then there's this doctor guy. He's like, oh, hello, are you Iron Man before you're Iron Man? And then he's like, yeah, I'm Iron Man before I'm Iron Man. And then they work together to not be kidnapped by terrorists. And then they build a big dope suit. It's super cool, really cool suit. And then he kills the terrorists. He goes killing the terrorists. And he gets freed. And, he decides to stop making weapons because, he's killing peoples. And he makes Iron Man suits. And he goes and kills some terrorists. Because that's what you do when you're rich. You kill terrorists. So pretty much, Iron Man is if Donald Trump was a superhero. Which needs to be a movie, by the way. Trump Man. That's the best film concept of all time. Now being more serious here because I haven't been taking myself seriously out this entire thing. Just 10 minutes of me screaming at the top of my lungs for reasons unknown to mankind. But there are a lot of good things about this movie. Robert Downey Jr. is a really good Tony Stark, and combined to that with a really good script, and in the movie, Tony Stark's just a big old meanie head. And a lot of movies made by people who are bad at making movies, there just be some guys like, hey Tony, you're not that responsible, and you're kind of a jerk. You should probably be more responsible and be less of a jerk, but it shows you that he's a big meanie head, and it makes you not really like him. The movie goes really fast, but I'll talk about that later. Here's another thing. They don't focus on his dad a lot. Now, that might not sound like a big thing, but a lot of other movies would just focus way too much on his dad. I'm looking at you, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, but we don't talk about The Amazing Spider-Man 2. We don't talk about The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And I like how they didn't talk about him a lot because he's not the main focus, because he's dead. Tony's dad is dead. You don't need to know about his personality and what he did, because he's dead. And, I just like how they didn't focus on him a lot. And, Pepper Potts and Tony have a really good chemistry together. It's a great romance, basically. It's kind of like a romance hidden under a comedy. It's not a romantic comedy, but, romance underneath the comedy is what I mean. They have great chemistry and it's good romance, and there's just, one part where they go to, there's, a party. Tony's there to start dancing, and they go outside, and they're about to kiss, and then Tony just, leaves her, and that was by far one of the funniest parts in the entire movie. Well, there are funnier things in the third act, but we're gonna talk about that later. Hold your horses! By the way, I'm, reading off a list, by the way. So, I'm just reading off a list. That's probably why it seems like I'm just, reading points, at school. This is why it's a good movie. Number 1, their extended scene of Pepper Potts with their shirt off was a very nice scene. It's kind of why that sounds like that. So, the terrorists are scary, and, they spend, almost, half an hour. No, yeah, they spend more than half an hour about Tony and Mr. Scientist Guy and the terrorists. So, they're scary, you get, you know, get how scary they are. They're pretty scary peeps. And another thing is that this movie has guts to show stuff, you know? Like, multiple people in this movie die. I'm serious, man. A lot of people in this movie actually do die. That's surprisingly satisfying to say. Do die. Hell, even Iron Man kills some people. But the thing is, he's not a complete sociopath. Like, there's not just a part in the movie where he just goes to the place where the terrorists are and just drops a bomb on them and kills them all. Because, you know, that would just be making him look like a complete sociopath who doesn't care about life. Like, you see the terrorists with the townspeople of Iraq, and they're big meatheads. You don't like terrorists. Terrorists are bad. You don't like terrorists. And, you know, there's big meatheads, and you get like they're bad, and then Iron Man shows up and kills them. They get, the terrorists, trust me, they get very dead. If you've seen anything in this movie, you know they get very dead. So if you think this is a children's movie, sit your toddler next to the TV and not care because they're probably going to fall asleep anyways. Don't do that. Because people die in this movie. This ain't no Disney movie. By the way, this movie, it has great action. The fight scenes are amazing. It all looks real. They have great special effects. Because in later movies, Civil War, Spider-Man, Homecoming, there's really bad special effects, especially with the Spider-Man suit and the Iron Man suit. But in this movie, all of the suits are completely real. And I say that they're 100% built from the ground. Everything, you know? It's just, and it looks really good. Like, maybe, guess I'll talk about that later. Because, spoiler alert! You know, it's the final battle. And, yeah. What? Yeah, by the way, the best part about this entire movie, Stan Lee. We have a very rich Stan Lee. Stan Lee, he has all of the ladies, and he's rich. By the way, rest in pepperoni, Stan Lee. You're a great man. Stan Lee died, by the way. Do you know who Stan Lee is? Probably. ASMR. And again, I'm reading this off of a list, so here are the cons, the bad things. This movie is just really unrealistic in the weirdest ways. Like, okay, you know, I don't think every movie has to be 100% realistic. It's like, well, actually, he's running too fast. Humans don't run that fast. It's impossible. And I'm not game theory. I'm not like, actually, he's going too fast. A human would die like that. You know, I'm fine with that. But there's just this really weird. I don't get why people are really into Tony Stark. I don't get why he's such a ladies' man. Like, maybe if he was like a really famous actor or something, then like it would make sense. But he makes bombs and bombs. Like, maybe if he made other stuff besides from the war weapons, then understand. Like, he might make more, but like that's all they show us. So like, why do people really like him? And then there's this one part where after Tony Stark gets laid, like, the lady is just there, and then, like, she's just walking around. Why would he let this random woman into his house for the sole purpose of having sexual relations? It doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. And, you know, it's fine, but, like, I don't get it. And also, this movie's pacing is way off the wacky-nacky. Like, this movie goes really fast. And again, like, a movie that goes fast is fine. But the superhero movie, it's better to go slow, bro. You know? Like, 30 minutes of the movie are spent with Tony Stark in the terrorist's place. But you know, it's just really fast, you know? And the pacing is, by the way, how fast or slow a movie feels. And again, I'd rather have a movie that goes fast than really slow. But again, you know, that rhymed again. I'd rather have a movie that takes its time a little bit more. And, you know, the arcs and junk. And there is an arc, but, you know. By the way, okay, especially in the third act, some of this movie is some of the best comedy ever. Like, there's this one part, business guy, he has his scientists, and they're making something, and they have the giant arc reactor. Because Tony Stark made, like, a giant arc reactor, and when he was in the terrorist cell, so his heart didn't stop working, he had to make a mini arc reactor. By the way, misconception, the arc reactor is not his heart, it helps his heart, okay? That's a misconception. And then there's this part where he's like, well, make the arc reactor smaller. He's like, yeah, well, we can. Then the business guy just screams out, yeah, well, he made the same thing in scraps. And it's so funny how loud he is. Like, everything. And, like, there's this one part where he's like, well, I much enjoy being in the suit, and now I'm going to kill you. And it's so funny. And there's this one part where there's this car being lifted up with their family, and they look so awkward. Like, it looks like the people who they got to be in the car just, like, got high or something, and there's like, it's almost like they got people who could barely act and just be like, yeah, just open your mouth. You don't even have to scream or anything. We'll put the screams in post. It just doesn't make sense. And another part, Tony Stark his arc reactor gets turned off, and the business guy, he's like clinks juice, like look at Granny, and then it's funny. And yeah, the editing is also kind of weird. Like, there's this one part where the terrorists, all the terrorists get shot, okay? And then, it zooms next to a limousine. And then, it's getting shot, and then so fast, you just see the guy in the limousine. And you don't even hear the gunshots. It's just so weird. The editing in this movie it's not the worst I've ever seen, but, it's just weird sometimes. So anyways, oh yeah, the villain in this movie makes absolutely no sense, but I'm gonna talk about that a little bit later. When I say later, I mean right now. But spoiler alert for a movie that came out in 2008. This movie, I'd give it a 7 out of 10 if you're one of the normies, you don't want to see the spoiler, who don't want to see any spoilers, you spoiled brat. It's funny, it's fast, so if you want to watch a fast movie, you can just watch this. And also, it got great action. It's a good action movie. Now, if you want to hear the spoilers, well, too bad. You don't get them. And okay, it turns out, from the entire movie, business guy, Obadiah Stane, he's the bald old guy. He told the terrorists to kidnap Tony Stark because I don't know why he wanted to have Tony Stark dead. Did he want it because he wanted to take the company over? But that doesn't make any sense. If he wanted, he could have. Tony Stark came back, and he didn't try and kill him again until the end of the movie, where he got a giant robot suit. A robot suit. Oh my god, it's a robot suit. It's a robot suit. Oh, I should really stop drinking Mountain Dew for breakfast. Dear Jesus. What am I doing with my life? Genuine question. Alright, so he gets, and like, why wouldn't business guy want to kill Tony Stark, Iron Man again? Shouldn't he like get an assassin or something? Why didn't he do anything else? And later in the movie, they get the robot suit, the Iron Man Mark 1 suit, and they like the terrorists get it. Why did they get it? Did they just get it for reasons? Or did Obadiah Stane want them to get the robot suit? Like, no one knew that Tony Stark was Iron Man until the very end. Because at the end, he's like, I am Iron Man. No one knew until that. Like, I don't get how Obadiah Stane even knew that he was Iron Man. Didn't he get the suit and then he's like, oh my god, Tony is Iron Man. No, he's just like, oh, well, here's the suit. I guess Tony Stark's Iron Man because the kidnapped Tony Stark. For all we know, that could have been the scientist guy from the beginning. How did he even know that he was Tony Stark? Am I being too loud? I have a feeling I'm going to be too loud. What if, like, someone next door thinks I'm being domestically abused, and then they call the police on me? And then my, parental figures get, arrested? That would be great. Anyways, so, I completely lost my train of thought. God damn it, no. So, like, Obadiah Stane gets the, robot suit. And he wants, like, so throughout the entire movie, he's been, like, selling all the, war, stuff. By the way, Tony doesn't care. He's just like, oh, well, you're selling war stuff, which I don't like. The people without my permission, I don't care. You can go do that while I go stop what you're doing. And because Tony knows that, he figures it out a couple times in the movie. I don't understand. So, like, did he want the Iron Man suit? Did he want to sell it to people? Did he want to sell the Iron Man suit to the government? But that doesn't make any sense, because at the end, Pepper Potts figures out about the Iron Man suit, and then he starts killing government people. And, like, he literally kills people. That's blood on your hands, man. You could have done that in such a better way, besides being like, oh, well, there are people, may as well kill them. Like, I know that they wanted to arrest you, but, like, really? That's kind of the dumbest way possible to try it. And this is gonna be a half hour long. Man, and, like, it's just dumb. And he, like, starts threatening children. Like, at the end, he's like, well, I like being an evil, evil Iron Man. But, like, what did you ever even want? And, again, bummer. It's a good movie, and they got the post-credit scene, which is still to this day, pretty good. 7 out of 10. Check it out. It's a good movie. What am I doing with my life? I'm gonna go shoot myself.